The formalization agreement signed in Cairo is meant to facilitate intra-African trade after the launch of the African Continental Free Trade Area. This adjustment facility, approved by the African Union's heads of states, includes a base fund that supports countries which could face revenue losses due to the eradication of tariffs between African countries.
To implement the AfCFTA, we need between $7 and $8 billion. That is why this adjustment fund that we signed today is so critical, to make sure that these countries, that they have the support that they need to implement the AfCFTA until such time that they are able to be more competitive based purely on export competitiveness, so that they rely less on tariffs, duties for revenue generation.
The initial amount is $1 billion provided by AfreximBank. The rest will come as financial contributions, grants and technical assistance from member states. This will also help accelerate the ratification process, as 42 countries out of 54 have endorsed the AfCFTA so far.
We need to retrain the people. We need companies to retool their factories. We need countries to be able to implement the different protocols that have been negotiated. This fund will be available to countries, to companies, to banks, to SMEs who need funding to do all these things I've just mentioned.
And host nation Egypt has given its backing to these efforts.
Egypt fully supports this very important initiative and will be actively promoting the engagement of various development partners and financial institutions to provide grants as well as technical and financial resources to support this very important fund.
Officials also signed up to 2 funds that will mobilize financing for the public and private sectors to enhance trade and investments after applying zero tariffs.
Access to finance on the continent is very difficult, whether we are talking about businesses or sovereigns. The conditions are very, very stringent. The ability to access the funds is also equally stringent and equally difficult. So that is why I believe with AfreximBank, the African Development Bank, that is why we've got to do more to make sure that there is availability of affordable financing for trade, for infrastructure development on our continent.
And to achieve a milestone, the AfreximBank is introducing the first Pan-African digital payment platform for intra-African trade, with an initial capital of $500 million to increase to $3 billion in 2 years.
Today, if you want to pay for goods in the context of intra-African trade, you have to go to another third currency before you pay for it. What we want to do is to make every African currency convertible within Africa. That is to say, if an Egyptian wants to buy Kenyan coffee, he pays for it in Egyptian pound. The Kenyan seller of the coffee gets Kenyan shilling.
According to officials here, these facilities will not only reduce dependence on hard currency, but will also save the continent $5 billion in payment transaction costs per year and formalize a large portion of the $50 billion worth of informal intra-African trade. Yasser Hakim for CGTN, Cairo.